In this video, we're going to be looking at the muscles that we can see on the leg model. So starting at the top, some of the hip muscles that we can't see in any other model besides this one. So through here in the iliac fossa and coming through here, and then as it forms this common point here, is all called the iliopsoas muscle. It's kind of a weird name. That P is silent. Technically, it starts as the iliacus. Then we have the psoas major, and they combine to form the iliopsoas muscle. But you can think of all three of these together as part of the iliopsoas muscles. Okay, we said something you can look for on the side. This light material is the iliotibial band or iliotibial tract or IT band. So that's how you can know you're looking at the lateral side. So the short muscle here is called the tensor fascia latae or lata, call it the Starbucks muscle. Okay, this is gonna help stabilize your leg when you're walking. So it's a short muscle, but it still has an important function. Because whenever you walk, when you pick up one leg, the other leg has to be planted. So that's where the stabilization is we're talking about. This muscle that's spiraling around, this is the sartorius muscle. So it goes from the lateral part of your hip onto the medial part of your femur. So sartorius. If we rotate inward, so looking at the medial portion, so you can kind of see the big toe here. Or if you're looking in here, we're looking in the hip area here. Okay, here's the sacrum curling around to the coccyx. So through here, this one that's straight is called the gracilis. Okay, kind of going to your groin. So straight up and down is gracilis. This one that's spiraling is the sartorius. On either side of gracilis, these large muscles here spread out underneath are all together called the adductor muscles. ADD, so adductor, helping to adduct your leg. You have different names, but we can just think of them all together. There's adductor magnus, adductor brevis, but all of those are adductor muscles. So then looking here, we have the four muscles of the quadriceps. So on the front, going right here to the patella, is the rectus femoris. Then on either side, we have the vastus muscles. So on the lateral side is called vastus lateralis. And then in here, we have the vastus medialis. Then there's one more, vastus intermedius. So we have to remove these to be able to see that. Okay, so if we remove rectus femoris, this is where we can see the vastus intermedius in between. So in between medialis and lateralis. Okay, that's where we had rectus femoris and then vastus intermedius through here. Put this one back. Okay, if we turn it around, so looking at the gluteal muscle, this one here is gluteus maximus, very large muscle. We can see a portion of gluteus medius peeking through here. If we remove gluteus maximus, we'll see more of gluteus medius. So that's this one here. If we go rotate clockwise, we're going to see the piriformis muscle. That's sitting on top of this sciatic nerve. So if this muscle starts to spasm, that can cause pain radiating down the back of the leg. So that's the piriformis muscle. A lot more muscles going on through here, but we're not going to learn them in this lab. On the posterior thigh, we can see the three hamstring muscles. On the lateral side, again, look for that iliotibial band. This muscle is called biceps femoris. Technically, there's two heads that attach. The model doesn't show it very well, though, but this whole part is biceps femoris. I think sometimes students think both of these are biceps, but it's just this one here. On the medial side, we have the semi-muscles. So this one on top is semitendinosus. You can look for this distinct tendon right here. And then spread out underneath is the semimembranosus. Okay, you can see a portion of it showing up through here. So those are two different muscles. If I remove this one off here, I can remove this one here. Okay, if I remove semitendinosus, I can turn it around and we can see there's the semimembranosus. So it's just a separate muscle listed underneath of there. On top is going to be semitendinosus through here. Okay, if we continue looking at the back, at the calf is going to be gastrocnemius through here. This is another one where we have a muscle underneath called the soleus. Kind of think like the sole. Underneath gastrocnemius, so there's a portion that kind of comes out through here, and then another portion coming out on this side. The gastrocnemius is connected through the Achilles tendon here, or calcaneal tendon, attaching to the calcaneus. Achilles comes from the Greek myth of like were grasping onto the heel, and that was his weak point. So that's a commonly injured tendon you can sometimes have. And then the other 3 muscles in the lower leg are named for the bones that they're near. At least a couple of them are. So here's the tibia bone. So next to it here, this is the tibialis anterior. So right next to the tibia bone is tibialis anterior. And then as we rotate through, we're going to see this next one is the extensor digitorum longus. So extending the toes. So digitorum going out to the toes, extensor digitorum longus. And then on the side, we're going to have fibularis longus. So there's the fibula bone. There's this tendon here you can look for on the side of the pinky toe. Again, we can see the IT band. That's one way to know we're on the lateral side. Okay, so those are the muscles to know on the leg model.